Hi, my name is Will and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about an experience I had checking out a new piece of gear. It was a little outside of my comfort zone. I still wanted to give it a fair shot and be honest with the results that came from that. So let's dive into it. All right, so when we think of gear, maybe it's just me personally, but I often think of this specific piece of gear not last, but almost towards the end. I think of all sorts of other things before I think of this. And I'm talking about guitar strings. I have been playing the same strings, the same brand of strings for probably 9 years, the same specific kind of strings for almost 3 years. Have had a wonderful experience with them. Have never had any intention of changing. So I was very comfortable with what to expect, how the strings felt, how they sounded, how long they lasted, if they broke or didn't break once they got to the end of their life or halfway through. I play kind of hard, so it's easy to break strings. And I just, like a lot of people, started getting this advertisement popping up for this new company. It's kind of like a local boutique company. I won't say their name like straight up, but like boutique company, close to local, high quality, same price point as what I was currently using. I was like, okay. I love supporting local businesses. I love the entrepreneurial spirit. Like, yeah, let's give them a shot. And started looking up some videos. Some of my favorite YouTubers were using their stuff and hyping them up, and that was cool. Got to watch a behind the scenes kind of a tour with someone that I like to watch, and just fell in love with the process, the people, which means a lot to me. And like that the people making the product are good people. I love getting connections with that. One of my favorite things about PRS is when they do the experience every year or every other year, however often they do it, and they give you like a couple of minutes with key people in each department talking about their people, their process, why they do what they do. So anyways, kind of got bit by the marketing hook, went for it, ordered a couple strings, got them to the house, put them on. Man, they sounded great. They felt great. I'm thinking, yo, this is just what I'm going to use from now on. This is great. Took a guitar to a gig. It was like a 3-hour outdoor gig. It started at like 6 or 7, so it's still warm. You're still. I sweat a lot when I gig, anyways. So, get done with the gig and wipe everything down, put everything back in the case, start packing up, head home. I've got a church thing in the morning, that next morning, and I pull out that same guitar. Strings are dead, and I think, oh man, did I sweat more than I thought I did? Did I forget to wipe down the guitar? That's strange that the strings would be like that dead. That's weird. Okay, well, maybe that's just a one-off thing. Like one gig shouldn't kill strings. Okay, so maybe I just did something wrong. Put another set on another guitar, and I actually went really specific on the hours for this. I had an 1.5-hour rehearsal indoors, right? I had 2 30-minute performances, run-throughs, whatever you want to call them, indoors. Another 2-hour rehearsal indoors. 1 song outdoors. Just 1 song, a 3-4 minute song. And that was it. And it was in that order. And when I picked up the guitar to play the 1 song outside, I felt the strings going. I was like, man, inside, no sweat, like nothing, comfortable, controlled environment. I'm not playing like a lot of stuff where things are moving around a bunch. It's a lot of single note stuff, like churchy stuff. And the strings were gone. I was like, okay, maybe this isn't a misnomer. Maybe I'm wanting the strings to just be better than they are. And the truth is that they weren't. Right out of the package, straight onto the guitar, no doubt they felt better, they sounded better. They were great to play. The tension was great. All of it was fantastic. And then after one gig, they're dead. That second guitar that I strung up, where I did the one song outside, felt like the strings were gone, like noticeably dead. That's the thing. Strings are something that you shouldn't notice during the gig, right? And I was becoming aware of the condition of the strings during rehearsals or performances. And strings should never be that way. Pickups either. Like anything that's in the guitar, really anything. You shouldn't have anything that takes you away from the musical moment that you're trying to be in. If you've got a cable that's kind of going bad, or like on my PRS, my input jack, you've got an input jack that's kind of acting up, and every time it just drops out for a second and you have to like jiggle your cable or whatever, it immediately pulls you out. It completely pulls you out of that moment, and you have to focus on gear working properly instead of just creating music with people around you and listening and serving, right? So strings are not something that you should be like aware of during a show, during a rehearsal. And I noticed that I was becoming more and more and more and more aware of these strings, which is unfortunate because, like I said, I wanted to believe in them. I wanted them to be awesome. I wanted them to be hyped. And they just didn't work for me. They just didn't. So I went back to the strings I've been using for 3 years. I've been using the D'Addario NYXLs. I think I've broken one string in 3 years. And at rehearsal on Thursday at church, I broke a string. Saturday, at rehearsal on Saturday, I had brought a pack of D'Addarios to replace those old strings that really weren't that old, had like 4 or 5 hours of playing time on them, something like that. It wasn't much. And I thought, I'll be able to get through the rehearsal, and didn't. They broke. So, I just wanted to share that to say that it's always good to get out of your comfort zone. It's always good to push yourself and try things that you wouldn't normally do. That's how I found out that running like fuzz into an overdrive, a second channel of an amp, is a completely different thing than putting fuzz at the very beginning of the stage and making the fuzz do all the work. Something that I'll hope to do is get a JHS Morning Glory and put it behind that fuzz pedal so that whatever platform I go into, they both turn on at the same time. Because the Morning Glory is supposed to be like transparent. It's your amp just with some gain. So essentially like a second channel, and then put that fuzz in front of it. And I've got that fuzz sound from a couple of videos ago everywhere I go. It'll be uncomfortable trying that and seeing if that works. I actually have no idea if it'll work. I think it will, but I don't know. And the fun part about it is trying to see if it does work, right? Trying to see if you can make it work. So I just want to encourage you to kind of get out of your comfort zone, do what's uncomfortable, always challenge yourself, and be honest and fair whenever you review what's going on. Like, I legitimately could tell that I was struggling with those strings. And I had to be honest about that. And even though I wanted them to be awesome, they just weren't doing it for me. They were pulling me out of, if you look up Tom Bukovac's page, he always talks about orbiting, right? You're not here, you're up here. You're free flowing. You're not thinking, you're just playing, you're in it. That's where I want to be. And anytime we get pulled back down to earth and our feet have to touch the ground again, it's like, well, now you got to go through the whole process of setting up a launch and getting back up there. So the strings didn't work out for me. It's a little uncomfortable. Even just talking about it's like uncomfortable. I don't know why. I don't want anything bad to happen to the company. I think they're great people. They've got a cool product. It's just not for me. The longevity of the strings doesn't work for me at that price point. I'll just go back to the strings that I know, are reliable, the same price, and last a lot longer. They don't quite feel as nice. They don't quite sound as snappy, but I'm much more willing to take the treble knob and just give it a half a bump and have strings that won't break on me in the gig. So yeah, that's really it. Just challenge you to try new things, even if it's something that you would never have thought to change. I mean, like I said, I've been using D'Addario for 9-10 years now. And I didn't really have a reason to switch, just kind of wanted to see. I got hit with an advertisement and they got me, right? So just look for opportunities to kind of switch things up. If you're used to playing 6L6 amps and you come across a matchless and a Chettiatone, sorry, that's all like EL34 and EL84 Voxes, you know, do it. Put yourself out there, kind of do something that's uncomfortable, because man, when it works and you're on the other side of that, even when it doesn't work, you just learn something that is invaluable moving forward. So that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. It's an honor to get to spend this time with you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. We're going to be releasing new videos every Monday. So until then, have a great week. We'll see you next time.